Welcome to the Godly Trading live trading room, our Godly Trading Hour, all done in half an hour. Thank you for being here. It's Wednesday the 11th, and today was a bit calmer out there in the markets. Drop me a comment in the chat. Let me know how you did today in your trading as we go over our verse of the day that is a little applicable. Well, they're all applicable, but today's especially, I think, given what's going on. So yeah, let me know how today went for you out there in your trading. By the way, the producer's going to have to pop them up. I don't even see any of the chats till he puts them up there. So this one here, I think, for a lot of us, speaks to our trading. Jesus, this is obviously the Gospel of John. Jesus is speaking and says, "These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace." Hey, how many of us want peace in our trading? In the world, sadly, he doesn't say you might have tribulation. He doesn't say maybe you'll have tribulation. It's a promise. Paul says, slow, didn't do much, just rested today. Honestly, for as cerebral as trading is, physical rest has an amazing impact on it. In the world, you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. If we turn what we're doing over to him, he says that, yes, we are going to have trouble, but cheer up. He's overcome all of that trouble. And I think that is so applicable in our trading that we need to remember there's a reason we're doing this. And our goal, sure, to make money. Yes, to pay the bills, to take the family on, the whatever. At the end of the day, our goal is to end every trading day having done all for his glory and traded in a way that honors him and serves our family, serves those he put us here to serve. Going to be talking about that this Friday. Mr. Producer, if you would drop the godlytrading.com scroll bar across the bottom. You can go there and sign up for our free webinar on Friday. Thank you, sir. All right, let's dive into the actual trading talk for today. So I put in the thumbnail, Day Trading with Frank. And that's exactly what I did this morning. So I want to give you a brief synopsis of where we are right now. Overall, I always try to be transparent, showing you my accounts, things that are happening. Not going to have time to go into almost any aspect of Forest right now. Forest, the free handouts, put in your information and have it emailed to you automatically. It's on its way. I'm going to give you both the regular rules and the fantastic Rolando rules. But anyway, today on the markets was a bit of a quieter day than yesterday. I hope some of you were able to make do with what was out there. Overall, I've got some trades happening left. These are daily chart swing trades. I have two that are left out there. Both of them are euros. Let's just take a quick look at my swing trades, and we'll dive into the day trades. So I'm in the euros. Oh, hang on. Aussie yen's missing. Aussie yen is out and done. We saw that yesterday. So we can make that green. Fantastic. Green. All right. Euro Swiss still hanging around. It'll be a while. Euro yen. Just barely got into this one. It'll be a while. So overall, on the Frank only swing trading account, this is with the prop firm CTI, City Traders Imperium, out of Dubai. You can see that my equity right now, I'm at 10,562. And once I hit 10,800, this becomes a fully funded account. You will get to see that when it happens. Or if something goes wrong, you'll get to see that too. Overall, this strategy is still running a 68% win rate on 26 trades. So there's not a lot of trades. But for swing trades, that's not bad. So what does that mean? So it's 14. That can't be right. Oh, winning trades is 26. So add them together. That'd be 38. So I'm winning 26 out of 38. That's not bad. And you can see that right now we're up around 5.4% gain. So there's your swing trades. Enough of swing trading. Let's dive into the day trading. This is my live prop firm account with DarwinX for the day trading. Let's call it short-term trading as opposed to day trading, because some of it happens at night. I mean, it's day somewhere, right? You can see right now I'm up 2% on the month. Pretty good. If this number hits 75 and I get my $30,000 allocation this month, I'm going to shut this account down and switch to trading this somewhere else. Oh, excuse me. So here's what happened today out there day trading. Is this the right account? Yes. Just under 1% gain today. 1.2% for the week, almost 3% for the month. Let's dive into the specifics of that. So switch it over to, now this I trade on MT5, and I have replicated what you're used to seeing on TradingView. This indicator that you're seeing here, that's, boy, I love MT5. MT5 is powerful. MT5 can do so many things. MT5 is nowhere near as user-friendly as TradingView. I mean, this, even the chart just looks nicer on TradingView than it does here on MT5. But I woke up this morning. So this particular short-term trading account has basically has a day shift and a night shift. So at night, gold switches over from, well, I should say not even at night. In the afternoon, gold switches over from Frank to Forest, and it trades automated on Forest. So yesterday or last night, where is my, oh yeah, that's right. You got to turn trade history off and then turn trade history back on again. So we had, this was our setup here on Forest. Forest is the night shift for my, and Forest is automated. So I just let Forest do its thing overnight, and I wake up and see what happened. This morning I woke up and it wasn't quite done yet, but you can see we had our red dot. We pulled back, we got in here, and we got out here. So fantastic. But this was at 15 minutes 8. So this is 7:30 Central this morning when we got out right there. So I couldn't take a trade on Frank this morning with gold because the night shift was still wrapping up their work. Let me switch this back to Frank and show you what I'm talking about. So let's see. I start looking for day trades, actual day trades around 6 a.m. my time, Central Time, Mississippi time, excuse me, Mississippi time. There's only just the one set of S's in the word. So 6 and 8 will be 15. So, right? 6 plus 8 is 14. So where's 14 o'clock? Right here. So this candle right here is about where I start paying attention in the mornings to my charts. I'm gonna make this as big as possible for those of you who are watching on your phones. Where did I just see that? 16, no, 14. So this candle right here. So you see, hey, we had our first signal on Frank right here at, this is the 15-minute chart. So we had a signal to go short on gold at 6:15 Central this morning. Number one, I couldn't because, as I mentioned, Forest was still wrapping up. I was still in the trade from the night before. Night shift, couldn't take it. But had you done this, this is where again, I don't want to continue explaining Frank day by day, but for now I will. Once you get this signal, you put your entry at the low for a short. You put your entry at the low here. And what that does, as you can see, I don't know if you, let me zoom. Oh, I can't zoom in any more than that. So if you're watching on your phone, just, stare really closely. Here is the low right here. This is where your entry would be. Technically speaking, the low here is 5179.52. So that's where you put your entry. And what you want is the next candle to continue the downward momentum, trigger that entry, and keep on going. Well, the next candle didn't. The next candle below was 5179.69. So slightly higher than the previous. Beauty of that is no harm, no foul. You didn't get in this trade, and nothing happened. The trade setup expires after one candle. So there was your setup. Later on, we had at 20 minus 8 would be 12. So at noon 15 Central Time, we had another signal to go short. So you'd have put your entry right here. Now, personally, I quit looking for trade setups at around 8 o'clock Central Time. So I wouldn't have been in this trade anyway, unless I had Frank running as a robot. I may be able to finish building Frank. Frank's at like version 6 right now. I think there's like 8 or 9 parts to Frank. One of the things we do in our trading training program is teach you how to automate your system, and so you can test. And there's steps to that. And frankly, no pun intended, it's been so long since I worked on Frank the robot, I've forgotten how many steps there were, so I don't know where the version 6, which is what I have, is ready for prime time yet. Anyway, if you were looking for setups all day long, here was a setup right here. You would have entered right here, and this was 859 points is where your stop. Actually, your stop would have been the previous candle high. So the rule is, the way I trade the rule is, use for a short, your stop loss is either the high of the candle that gives you the signal or the high of the previous one of those two, whichever one's higher. You don't have to trade that way, but you can. So we're looking for 1100, and we would have gotten that plenty. So there's your winning trade on gold this afternoon, or literally at 12:15 Central. That's where that trade was. Let me see. What did I have this morning? By the way, you're saying, well, why are you trading the 15-minute chart? If you're day trading, why not the 5-minute chart? I tried that this morning. I really did. There was a signal here on NDX. Where is my... Oh, it's in S&P. There was a signal on NDX this morning, somewhere around, 15 minutes, 7:30. Maybe it was on S&P. Anyway, there was a signal on the 5-minute chart. Intend your puns, you coward. Fine. Frankly, I was too old and slow to take the trade. Let me be frank about it. Yes, I'm going to hammer that home. Thank you, Paulie. So on the 5-minute chart, I saw the signal. Hey, I need to get in here. Put my trade position size calculator thingy on the chart. Start. Okay, I need to get in here. I need to get out here. Take profit. Position size. I missed the trade. Because it's a 5-minute chart. It took me a minute and a half to get it set up. And I'm like, I can't. For now, until I build either a one-click entry button that says, here's how that has all of the Frank strategy built into it. So all I have to do is say long entry or short entry, and it does it like that. Till I build that, or have Frank automated 5-minute chart signal, get it set up, and get it sent before the trades. So that's why I switched to the 15-minute chart, because I'm old and slow. Mr. Producer, no comments. So there were a couple of signals this morning on the 5-minute chart. There were actually several. If you are faster than I am, feel free to trade it on the 5-minute chart. NDX, let's take a look at what we had. Here is our morning. So we had our signal to go short right here. We would have, yes, this is a trade that we could have taken. When I'm trading this manually, what I like to do, given the time, say, all right, I'm trading the 15-minute chart. Before I do anything else, let me jump up to the 1-hour chart. Let me drop my supply and demand indicator on here. I'll have to go back in time and show you some of the dead zones. And then let me drop back down to the 15-minute chart and take a look. So here was your signal right here to go short. And I'm basically shorting into an area of buying pressure. I wouldn't have done that. So even though I have a signal, I would have filtered it out with this. We were up, we were down. It's pre-market, right? I like to trade pre-market. Do I really want to be going short into this area? Because look at this thing. All right, here's your demand zone if you're one of those people. Support line if you're one of those people. All right, here's your support line right here. Price hit it and bounced, hit it and bounced, hit it and bounced, hit it and bounced. Like, do I really? I'm going to have to hit it in order to hit my take profit. Where's that signal at? In order for me to hit my take profit, I'm going to have to touch this thing. And every time price touches it, it rockets the other way. So yeah, I would not have taken that signal because of that, nor this one. And in both cases, well, in this case, for this signal, the trade would not have been triggered. I wouldn't have been in. This one, I would have filtered it out and wouldn't have been in. This one, I probably would have looked at, okay, I need, what's the size of this one? What is this anyway? NDX. Well, this first things first, what is this? This is 22 server time minus 8 is 16, which is what, 4 p.m. Central? I can't be right. This is 4 p.m. Central. 22 minus 8 is 14, which is 2 o'clock. I wouldn't have been looking at it. But let's just say for the sake of argument, you were. It said, okay, you want to get in here. You need 486 pips to get there. Hey, look, I can go down here where price is already. Well, no, I wouldn't have. Okay, I would have invalidated that trade as well. I wouldn't have taken that one. So you can do that and filter out some trades. That's just the way I trade it. Feel free to trade it like you want. S&P, I was actually in a trade, and this is kind of embarrassing. Last night I saw someone say, you know what? This is just pure supply and demand momentum trade. Let me try this out. Let me go long here. And then after I get in, I realized, or this morning I realized, hang on. I'm completely, I think I even mentioned to JJ this morning in our morning live day trading room, that I was polluting my results. So I got out of that trade. I tried to get out of break even so that I wouldn't have results in my data set that weren't frank. So yeah, I got in there, I got out there. Hopefully that was a no harm, no foul. Didn't really make any money off of that trade. Let's look at the trade setup there. Let's see what that would have given us. Again, we had a signal to go short right here. And you can even tell by price action that there's bound to be something there. I'm not even going to bother going up to the 1 hour and bringing the supply and demand zone down here. I can guarantee you there's a demand zone right here. I mean, it's the same basic area as NDX. So I would not have taken that trade because we're going into this demand zone. I'm glad I wouldn't have. This one, this one would not have triggered because look at it. And then, by the way, I'm getting to the ones that I missed that I lament that I missed, but we'll get there. I'll skip ahead to it. So this trade would not have triggered. No harm, no foul. Beauty of Frank. Don't get it. So to show you what I'm trading in the mornings, I trade 3 indexes. I trade the SPX, which is the S&P, the NDX, which is the NASDAQ, and the UK 100. Why in the world, Pepper, do you trade the FTSE, the FTSE? I don't know what it stands for, but that's the London 100 is their equivalent of the S&P 500. Well, because at 6 a.m., the London trading desk is blowing and going, right? That's their afternoon. They're trying to really get things up, winding down. So I'm going to trade what's moving. We are heading into movement with NDX and S&P, and we're coming out of movement with UK. So for a couple of hours, those overlap. That's why I picked those 3 indices. So I got 3 indices. I have 3 commodities, gold and silver and oil, or if you're Burl Ives, silver and gold and oil. And then the 3 most traded Forex pairs at that time of day, which is Euro US, Pound US, and US Yen. So I trade what that gives me is a snapshot of the world. Here's my American and British stock market. Here are my worldwide commodities, and here are my worldwide currencies. And so it gives me just 3 of each. You've got to limit yourself, right? You can't trade everything in the morning. Not if you want to be able to wrap your brain around what's happening. So let me skip ahead to, let me show you what I missed on silver. Yes, I missed this trade on silver. This was a beautiful trade. This is 12:30. So this is when I woke up. I was reading my Bible at this time. Not my fault that I missed this trade, but look at it. Just absolutely look at it. Okay, Pepper, you tell them to look at it and it went away. Where'd we go? Here we go. So here's your demand zone down here. We're not in any danger of hitting it. Look at this. Triggered right here. You're looking for, this is silver, so this is in pennies. You're looking for $2.96. Nope. 29 cents. 29.5 cents is what you're looking for. And you would have made 63. It was a 2-to-1 trade, at least a 2-to-1 trade. And if you were still in it when it came down, it was a 10-to-1 trade. So beautiful setup on Frank this morning on silver. I was just asleep when it happened, or just barely awake. I was stumbling around, letting the dogs out, getting my coffee this morning when that happened. Here's another one that happened at, let's see, it'd be 12:30 my time. Didn't trigger because price went up afterwards. So there's a missed trade this morning. Not missed, right? There was an opportunity this morning that if someone was awake, I think JJ was awake because he gets up way too early. There was a trade right there for Frank. Great setup. All right. Now let me show you the one that here's one I took. All right, let me show you the one that I took. I was happy about this. This setup I got at 6:15 my time this morning. Here's your setup. Got in. Hey, Pepper, I thought you said that you're supposed to get in at the bottom of the candle. Why did you get in before the bottom of the candle? I did mention the speed at which I entered these trades, right? By the time I was able to get in, it had moved on me. So just bless my heart and we'll move on. I got into this trade and I took a little bit of heat on this one candle, but overall got out. Yeah, could have taken this was what? This was 10 pips. By the way, 10 pips when you got news coming out. This was the news candle for the CPI that came out this morning. Something like that's not really going to affect Euro US, but you never know. So 10 pips, and we could have gotten at most 20 pips. So you could have a 2-to-1 trade there. Had another signal on this candle. This one's pretty big. You may remember this was 18 pips, and we would have gotten 9. So we would not have gotten that one. You probably would have stopped out on. This one would not have. Actually, this one would have triggered. This one would have been a stop out as well. So, and then here's one that would not have triggered. So I'm glad I took the one I did. I look for trade. This is me. All right. Everybody's different. I look for trades pre-market. So the market opens 8:30 my time. The market, right? The New York Stock Exchange. The market opens at 8:30 my time. I look to get in and trades at 6, and I want to be out by 8. I want to be done before the market starts to do its thing. So when volatility goes nuts and news happens and things, the most frustrating thing to have happen is one of these massive candles like this, where news comes out and price shoots way up and stops everybody out who was short. And then for no apparent reason, price just falls out the bottom, goes way past your entry and stops out all the ones who are long. And then 5 minutes later, price is exactly where it was before the news came out. But in the meantime, everybody's been stopped out. Now, am I conspiracy minded enough to think that that's all manipulated on purpose? Moving on. So there were my trades this morning on Euro US that I managed to get into. Very happy. This morning was between the night shift and the day shift. I got 1.2% this morning, which I'm happy about. Like I said, I'm about 1% away from shutting down that particular prop firm account for the month, rolling all of this activity over to them. Here's the one that I'm, oh, by the way, pound US, same situation as with the S&P. I had a dirty trade. What in the world's a dirty trade? I took it, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, wait a minute. This is not a Frank strategy. This is me testing out a different strategy, but it's all going into the Frank data set. I don't want to do that. I'm OCD about my data. I want my data to be clean. So I got out, and I tried to get out at my entry so that I wouldn't pollute through the results. Ignore that one. Here was your signal right here. Could you have gotten out before? This was 21 pips at 17 pips. So no, that one would not have worked out. Probably what I would have done is, I have mentioned before, I think maybe I only mentioned this to Paulie, that I give the pure form of these rules say, oh my goodness, I need to hurry up. The pure form of these rules say you give it one candle. If it doesn't get triggered in one candle, then it's expired. Also, if the next candle you get in and you close in drawdown, let's say for sake of argument that here, all right, let's say for sake of argument, this was your entry candle, and the next candle when you close and drawdown, I'm out because the momentum's gone, right? Frank requires momentum. If the very next candle says, oh, momentum has just disappeared, I'm out. If I'm up, if I'm not in drawdown, but momentum dies later on, let's say that I'm in here, right? So, or maybe this candle for whatever reason, we go up and up and up, and then we have a die off. I don't get out on that first opposite candle. I give it 2. If I get 2 opposite candles, that proves to me the momentum is gone. So if I get one opposite candle, I'll say, okay, hang on. Maybe the sellers will come back and rally. And if they do, fine. If they don't, if I get 2 opposite candles in a row, regardless of where the trade is, I'm out. So there's that. And then finally, let me show you the one that I'm just kicking myself, because where was I? All right. This is the perfect trade set up here on on USD yen right here. This was 6:15 my time. Beautiful signal came in right here. Everything you could possibly want came down and closed. I mean, opened just barely below the, actually, no, here's the main line. Open below it. There's your signal. There's your exit. You could have gotten 1.5 to 1 out of that. Well, Pepper, why did you not take that trade? I was in the bathroom and I come back and it's here. I'm like, oh, seriously? I got 2 cups of coffee. I go to the bathroom. I come back and I've missed the exit. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the weekend and recode the Frank MT5 indicator for an audible alert, not just one that I had to, because there was one that happened while I was staring at this screen, not this screen, and I didn't notice it for 10 minutes. And I'm writing and I'm in the zone. And I'm like, oh, gee, if it had an audible alert, I would have been in this. So anyway, I missed this beautiful Frank day trade setup because right about here, I went to the bathroom for a few minutes and to come back and yeah, the train has left the station. You know what? It happens. You can't beat yourself up about it. You can laugh about it, but you can't beat yourself up about it. All right, Mr. Producer, I see that there are 11 comments. Are any of those ones that I need to address? I'm not going to lose my train of thought anymore, or are they all just random people saying 6-7? Because you guys would not believe how many people stop by this particular stream and just say 67 and move on. Any of those comments that I need to address, pop them up on the screen. If so, just Nick. That would be the IT department. That's fantastic. Oh, why is Nick commenting? Father, make sure you set your stream to 1080 and not limited to 720. The IT department is saying words at me, not realizing that it's his job to do all of these things and to coordinate with the producer, because I don't know what he's talking about, nor do I want to. So thank you, Mr. IT department, for giving me technical advice, but take it up with your brother. So guys, that is the morning day trading session with Frank. It was exciting. It was fun. It was frustrating because, you know, I go to the bathroom and come back and, oh, there was a whole, these were 0.5% trades. There was an extra 0.5% that I could have missed had I just had a larger bladder. Anyway, any questions on Frank? Any questions on day trading with these prop firms? Anything like that coming in? You got 3 minutes to ask a question. Hopefully tomorrow I will show you what Forrest is doing. Speaking of Forrest, the day shift is over with, so it's time to switch over to the night shift, which would be Forrest Robot. But all he does is trade gold, and we'll see what he does overnight. I'll show you tomorrow what he's doing. I say he. I'm whatever it's called when you personify something that's inanimate. But anyway, let's go back to here. That was it for the day trading session. We're doing fairly well beta testing our morning live day trading room in our Discord channel. Seems to be pretty good. We haven't tested Zoom out for it, but I think Discord might be where we live because multiple people can show their screens. So if you're interested in that, contact. Oh, before I get out of here, I'm going to show you this. I think I showed you already, but anyway, if you have not yet signed up, free class, we're going to talk about some very important things, the 3 reasons your trading is still inconsistent and how to finally fix it. This is 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern on Friday. Free class, sign up for it. One of the things we're going to talk about is how to overcome the struggle that you might be feeling. So with that, guys, thank you all for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow.